Mhm. Well, as you pointed out with Salesforce, they bought Slack, which is the almost the number one communication platform, and so we'll see what the sales. They said it was a perfect fit, and I think in lots of ways it might be in the sense of that. But uh, if we just to kind of wrap up this kind of part of the conversation with it, I've always known in C-level conversations, there's usually three questions to get asked about any initiative for a new project or a new initiative for anything, and that is, uh, how much does it cost? How much are we going to make off of it? And who else is doing it? I think what's been happening with brands is a lot of franchise ease ask what brand's reaction is to something like, well, is Marriott doing it? Is Hilton doing it? Is IHG doing it? As kind of a filter as to validating the initiative. Like, well, if those people who are supposed to be smarter, bigger, better, okay, are taking on this kind of thing, then it's worthy of my consideration because that means it's been vetted by people that are smarter, bigger, better. Problem is, the brands aren't living up to the smarter, bigger, better conversation anymore. You have a CEO that willfully says that they're pandering more to ownerships than they are to guests, and they're diluting the Starwood membership program, which was more centric to guests than it was to ownerships. And they've admittedly said that they're building the membership profile associated with Bonvoy to be more value proposition to the ownerships of the hotels than they are the guest centrics. So how does that make people feel signing up, knowing that they're basically playing against the house? It's like going to Las Vegas. You know the house is already going to win. It's how much you might be able to get from underneath that you get, and how much fun you have from doing it. Well, I'm sorry, but having to go to a hotel for 10 times before I get a free bottle of water is not an incentive program for me. Not really caring, don't really care. It's not worth it for me. I can buy it myself. But what is a value proposition based on recognition of my value as a guest to you and how well you do that by your service profile, as you pointed out, Dell, and by the amenity value proposition or cost factor associated with my staying with you? Now that has a value proposition. So brands have not done anything notoriously good in relationship to that. And they tend to follow each other like little lemmings. What Marriott does, Hilton does. What Hilton does, IHG does. What IHG does, you know, um, Hyatt does. Oh, yeah, that we all yeah, the politics of it, yeah. Well, they did it, and that's why the question always comes up, who else is doing it? It's not always for the verification of bigger, better, and smarter, as it also is to say, "Well, hey, if they're doing it and you blame me for it, blame them too, because they're the you're willing to accept that." So, all said and done. Melissa, what's the future for you? Are you gonna be able to come back on the show regularly? You gonna take over a show and dominate the world? What's the plan here? Mm, good. I would love that as well. I think and like I said, as we go into the new format, I'll be sending out a calendar so people can grab what show they would like to do in addition to co-hosts that we're going to start bringing in from other places and doing other things. So I would welcome the opportunity, Melissa, if you ever wanted to dominate the world by taking over one of the shows. And it's the Melissa hour and just go and do all the voodoo. With that, I guess really honestly, we were a little over an hour, which I anticipate we're going to run over from time to time on this kind of stuff. Um, Closing comments and or just if you want to find you, Dean, we'll start with you. We'll do a reverse instead of the girls first. We'll do the guys first, or the guy first, I guess. Yeah, yeah, you are. Yes, you are. No, I am. That search. You just took the whole thing, didn't you? When I think meta search, I think Dean Schmidt. So it all works out for me just fine. Miss Adele, people to find you. Melissa, do you want to let out your secret email so that people can abuse you by calling up and asking for data related questions and the meaning of life and its intricacies? Or you won't find you, won't find you. No, that's true. That's true. Um, Yeah, I'll be honest with you. With Clubhouse, it turned out to with me launching the hospitality marketing club and people going to be paying for information. What I ended up finding was I wanted to be on there for dialogue. I wanted people to talk as I talk, and I know I talk too much, duh. But it turned out that really when people were just showing up for listening to me talking, and I'm like, I already do the podcast, I already do the live show, and doing 4 days a week of that, where I basically and then I'm doing it and I'm giving them information and they're actually literally people that were missing me were like, Lauren, I need you to ask me to answer the question about such and such. I'm like, dude, that's what I get paid to do. I can't keep going on a platform and giving answers to everybody. I want to be helpful, but I also don't want to be a dork and say, well, I could give you the answer, but you have to pay me. I don't want to be that guy. But if you're not going to enjoy, I couldn't get people to talk where I really want to listen to people and get an open dialogue. And I just couldn't get people because, oh, I'm just here to listen. I get that some people are like that, but somebody come up on stage and talk, at least give me an opinion or something. So I got to a point where it's like, you know what? I'll come on once a week. I'll keep it to an hour at most, and usually half hour is what I'm trying to shoot for on that. And I'm going to talk, but I'm also going to stop when it's like, look, guys, if that's really what you're interested in knowing about, that's kind of what I do to get paid. So if you want to get that kind of answer, we can talk about what it's going to take for you. It got to a point where it's like, man, oh man, I was getting nothing but how do you do this? How do you do that? Where do I find this? How do I make this? And I'm sitting there at first, I'm like, oh, hey, that's great. It's a question. Now it's like, no, I gotta turn the spigot off a little bit on that one. Then the Ed just got too dang busy. And the same kind of thing happened where it turned out that the same people were coming up saying the same things. And it was just like, you know what? No, it's not. It was supposed to be fun. It stopped being fun for a while. So I'm just going back when it comes to time. And I'm not trying to knock it. I think it's still a great platform. I never really listened to many other people because a lot of it turned into self-promoting people where it's like, guys, I really want to come over and hear what everybody's opinion is. I don't want just one person selling me something. I want opinions. I want people to talk. And it just turned out that usually a lot of the rooms were one person pushing what they were doing and not a lot of about stuff. I don't mind answering questions. I just got to the point where I was the only one answering them. So I love it. That's why I love this stuff is because I hear everybody else. I'm like, hey, I didn't think about that, or I didn't look at it that way, and that makes it a lot more enjoyable than the other. So yeah, that's what I have in Clubhouse. But we have the TV channel, and oh man, just real quick for you guys, the people that are wanting to put content on are freaking brilliant. Oh my God, there's some people that want to put food and beverage stuff on that are just like they're coming up with some incredible storyline stuff. My problem is it's mostly food and beverage stuff. I got to find people in their hotels. Problem is they're so darn busy with stuff they haven't had a chance to do much. But the food and beverage stories of stuff, how to open up a restaurant, how to run a restaurant, how to do catering, how to do banquets. What is it that for a good service? People, schools, how to make pizza, coffee, charcuterie. I got all these things where people want to put their stuff on. My problem is it's going to turn into a food show. I mean, food channel. It's like I got to get some hotel stuff. So, Melissa, you need to do a data show. Just saying. Adele, sauce, service, and quality stuff. I mean, just and then, I guess some people are interested in Meta. I'm not sure. I think it's a lost art, Dean. I don't know if you're gonna. Yeah. Oh, get the fuzzy hair. Get the fuzzy hair. Do the fuzzy hair. It's like, oh, let's put some trees in this. Oh, please. Hey, that was a great. Actually, it really was. Melissa, just or something else on the VR goggle thing. There's a platform called Noda. I think you would love. If you ever did mind mapping, you ever do mind mapping? You. This is three-dimensional. You're in a room, and you literally create three-dimensional map, and it is just so cool. Anyway, that's just me. Anyways, All right. So with that, for those who want to find this show and all previous shows, the oldest archive is hospitalitydigitalmarketing.com/live. I do not keep that one up with the latest shows other than just the single page for it. The real place to find all of this is at hospitalitychannel.tv. And then, of course, the latest show replay from the live side is at talktravel.tv, or if you go on your Roku, Google Play, Amazon Prime, and what did I miss? Apple, I guess, Apple TV. You can go there and you can watch the episode for free on your TV if you'd like to on the hospitality channel there. So it's even on Twitch. So even on your Xbox, Dean, you can watch the show. Just saying. With that, thank you everyone joining Friday the 13th. Nothing bad happened except for me getting hit. My office got hit by lightning a week ago, so that's why I'm at home because my router is still dead. And a few other pieces of electronics that just even past the surge wall, it's low wattage stuff, which I found out they never tell you about. Low wattage electronics, surge protectors don't protect them. Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute, I had a surge protector, and like, yes, for most high wattage items, surge protectors were wonderful, but low wattage items like routers, security blocks, power blocks, calculator blocks, little miscellaneous, those little blocks that plug in the wall or plug into your surge protector, do not survive the surge protector. They just cooks them. So Dicey does not care. Yes, okay. Anyways, thank you all so very much. Thanks for the surprises and everything. And bye, everybody.